everybody, and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard in the Castellet of France, round number 8 of the 2019 Formula 1 season. And after a visit to North America, which would provide quite controversial for Formula 1, we're bound to get started with Lewis Hamilton leading the way, but the Ferraris are now back up to speed. After the controversy in Canada, in North America, we're back to mainland Europe. It's round 8, the French Grand Prix at the Castellet Paul Ricard. As I said, it is round number 8 of this already incredible 2019 season, which has seen Mercedes dominate every single race so far. But next weekend is our first back-to-back in the years. We get the Austrian Grand Prix, then it's the British Grand Prix, Germany and Hungary, the summer break, then Belgium, Italy, the flyaways, Singapore, Russia, Japan, the Americas with Mexico, USA and Brazil, and all rounding out on December the 1st in Abu Dhabi. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton sauntering away with 3 victories on the bounce and 5 in 2019. He has a 29-point advantage to Valtteri Bottas in second, and Sebastian Vettel, with that penalty last time out in Canada, means he's now ahead of Max Verstappen, but just on 100 points. He's 62 behind Lewis Hamilton. Yet to score, Giovinazzi, Russell and Kubica. All that means in the Constructors' Championship is that Rocket Williams Racing have non-points coming into France. The battle for the midfield is close between Racing Point, Toro Rosso and Haas, along with Alfa joining the battle, but Mercedes lead the way at nearly 300 points. Hello everybody and welcome to the Thursday preview for the 2019 French Grand Prix here at the Circuit Paul Ricard in Le Castellet. It's a quite tricky circuit to look at because of the visual effects it has on your eyes. As the runoff areas here with the blue stripes and the red stripes with the black tarmac underneath, it really is quite a bit of a eye-opener event. It does give me a bit of sickness as well during the practice sessions. But what we are going to start with is something that has thrown Formula 1 into doubt. It's one of the worst cases of shooting itself in the foot I think I've ever seen in Formula 1. And of course, it's divided the drivers, it's divided the teams, it's divided the FIA against the drivers and teams, it's divided fans of every single sector. And that is the fact that Sebastian Vettel got the penalty for 5 seconds plus 2 penalty points after leaving the track, and what the stewards say deemed to gain an advantage last time out at the Canadian Grand Prix. It's even divided the team here as well, because I say it wasn't a penalty, Megan says it wasn't a penalty. However, our father Ian Birch, who's our pit lane reporter and commentator, says that it was a penalty. So it really has divided it quite a lot. But we're going to get into this and start what happened on the complete saga. So lap 48, Vettel goes off the track, rejoins, and is deemed to have rejoined in a dangerous manner and gained an advantage over Lewis Hamilton. That means that he gets a 5-second penalty, effectively ends the race. Vettel crosses the line in first, but Lewis Hamilton is deemed the winner, being within 5 seconds. Charles Leclerc finishes in third place as well. Sebastian Vettel decides not to go to Parc Fermé of the top 3, parks up next to the FIA garage, gets weighed and storms off back into the paddock into the Ferrari media office. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, have gone to get ready for the podium. Vettel has to take part in the podium, so walks back up the pit lane, goes through the Mercedes hospitality, to which we thought was going to be a conversation with Toto Wolff. It wasn't. He goes up just before the podium to Lewis Hamilton's car and takes the number 1 board away and puts the number 2 board in front and puts the number 1 race winners board in front where his car should be. He then goes up to the podium and very much animation discussions as well after that. However, it was announced, of course, during the race that Ferrari were intending to appeal the decision, but it wasn't until 4 hours after the race had finished, gone midnight in the UK, that Ferrari officially launched their intent to appeal the 5-second penalty. They had 96 hours to gather the evidence needed to present the case to the FIA stewards. At the 78th hour on Thursday, they decided that they weren't going to do that, and they pulled out the attempt to appeal. fans were still divided on opinions of this, and that meant that we were going to debate it going into the French Grand Prix, which we are this weekend. However, coming up yesterday, Ferrari have revealed that they've got new evidence and have asked the FIA to again review the decision process taken at the Canadian Grand Prix. It's not something we've seen before, of course, because we saw it a few years ago. You can have the FIA not appeal the decision, but review their decision. So the stewards who made the decision at Montreal will reconvene in France to hear from Ferrari representatives who are expected to present new evidence in the case. When asked about this by Sky F1's Ted Kravitz, Vettel said it's to open the case again and have another look. When asked what Ferrari's intentions behind the challenges were, that's what he said. He also said, we bring some information that maybe the stewards didn't have at the time as well. Ferrari, of course, did submit the right to review under the Sporting Corner Monday, but they took it away as well. But we are now going to see what it's going to be, and this is what the right to review actually means, which is what's happening this weekend in France tomorrow at 2:15 local time at Le Castellet. That's 1:15 back here in the UK. But this is what the right to appeal actually means. Sorry, the right to review. Ferrari have turned to the overarching international sporting code, which governs all FIA championships, to make their case against the stewards' Montreal decision. It's Article 14 of this international sporting code, so it's not the race code that we see, it's the international code they've gone to, allows for a right of review if the affected party can present stewards with fresh evidence which was not available at the time of the judgment. Well, yeah, because Vettel never spoke, neither did Lewis, so the stewards just took that of their own advantage and never heard from the two drivers. So, with this, and the last thing he said, the stewards shall have the sole discretion to determine if a significant and relevant new element exists for a right to review. But it really has divided the paddock of Formula One. But the drivers seem to be united on the decision as well, that it shouldn't have been a penalty, even as Hamilton says it was a bit harsh. But Lewis isn't here today. He is at a memorial service in Paris and he's been excluded from all media duties. A bit similar to what we saw in Monaco, of course, when he was warning Niki Lauda. But let's try and move on. Of course, the word throughout tomorrow is going to be on this stewards' decisions about Sebastian Vettel from Canada. So we'll bring you all the information first thing tomorrow in the Friday practice review. And just quickly, if you would like to listen to the commentary that me, Megan and Dad did at Canada at the time, if you watch the Grand Review podcast, that is on YouTube, SoundCloud and iTunes as well. It's also shareable on Facebook, but the link to the YouTube video is down below this one. You will find that not only is there race highlight commentary as well, but unedited 10 whole minutes of commentary from that race, to which me, Megan and Dad debate whether or not it's a penalty or not, and the aftermath of getting the penalty. And it gets quite heated as well, because we included that because our opinions haven't changed on the matter. But let's move on to this weekend in the 2019 French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. It is the 60th French Grand Prix to ever happen, and it is going to be a pretty much interesting one as well. So let's take a look around the circuit Paul Ricard. For the last time as well, it will be on the Formula 1 2018 game, as F1 2019 comes out next weekend, and we get it on Tuesday as well. So look out for some content on YouTube for that as well. But let's take a look around the circuit Paul Ricard with Lap Attack. Let's take a look at the circuit Paul Ricard in Le Castellet, France. It came back on the calendar last year after being away since 1990. And with it, we're on board with the local team, the French team of Renault F1. Down towards turn 1, you're already in 8th gear, drop down for a tight left-hander into 5th gear. Full opposite lock as the car immediately does a flick back to the right and heads down towards turn number 3. Already drop down from 7th gear down to 4th, and then a tight right for 5, followed by to 3rd gear, down to 2nd gear, get the car nice and lined up through turn 6. Turn 7, hold in 3rd gear as you have to lift, then 4, 5, 6, 7, as you're already onto the back straight, coming down to the 8 and 9 chicane. Opening up the DRS, you're already in 8th gear maximum as you hurtle down towards the chicane after this ever long-lasting straight. Quickly dart off into one of the 137 different layouts this track has to offer. The drivers wanted the chicane taken out for this year, but it didn't happen. Coming down already to the fastest point of the track, 8th gear, let's listen. Flat out as you come to turn 9, already brake now, turn 10, 11, down now, 5th gear. Heavy on the brake as you lift and now push. Now for me, this is the trickiest point of the track. Down already to 4th gear, but the track tightens up on itself and then has got like a pinhead exit that you've just got to hit first time. Into the last 2 corners then, it tightens up again, already down 4th gear, and then the 2nd gear last corner, booted hard with acceleration power, open up the DRS once again for the 3rd time, and you're across the line here at the Castellets Circuit Paul Ricard. A wonderful circuit, tight, twisty. Not easy on the eyes if you're looking from above, though, as I'm sure you saw, but very tricky driving, but it's got a nice flow to it. I don't like that corner just after the long straight, down at turn 8 and 9. It just sort of curves in on itself, and it's down to 4th gear, and you've got to turn in more than the car actually wants to turn. The downforce just want to push you wide, but it's a very tricky part of the circuit, and it always catches me out, as I'm sure you saw on the lap. Right, let's move on to this weekend then, and see what is happening here at Thursday's Media Day. Ferrari have brought small evolutions to France from their big upgrade they had back at the Spanish Grand Prix as well, but the big update seems to come from Honda as well. Honda have made goods with their F1 power unit finally, as we've seen. It's getting good in the Toro Rosso and Honda's hands as well. It just comes after 4 races that they've had with their Spec 2 engine, but there is now a small power boost available in their Spec 3 engine as well, as it's focused on performance after what happened. So Red Bull Junior Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly, plus Toro Rosso Danny Kvyat, will receive the upgraded internal combustion engine, the ICE, and of course the new turbocharger. It means Kvyat, however, will have a grid penalty for exceeding his ICE allocation of 3. Albon will receive Spec 3 as soon as well, predictably either at the Austrian Grand Prix or at the British Grand Prix in 3 weeks' time. And we're all looking forward to that one as well, the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. So moving on as well, the weather forecast looks to be a bit cloudy over the whole course of the week. I'm not expecting too much rain. FP1 and 2 conditions partially cloudy, 25 degrees max, no chance of rain throughout the weekend as well. Saturday is the same for FP3 and qualifying, and the race as well with partially cloudy. So if we just take a look back as well, there's small other things to bring you. The fact that Renault have got a new power unit as well this weekend at their home race. It seems to be that Nico Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo have got the new power engine, so we'll see if Renault can finally pick up. Unsure if McLaren have that. We'll have more information for you tomorrow as well. But let's get the view of the home drivers from the FIA official press conference then. Of course, we've got home favourites this weekend. Romain Grosjean, Pierre Gasly were the two in the drivers' press conference. We'll hear from them first. Pierre Gasly. Pierre, this is from the actual question as well. Question from the floor. How has the build-up been for you? I think you were just playing football last night, were you? This is to Pierre Gasly. Yeah, we played for Jules Bianchi. A very nice gesture as well. The family arranged that of Jules Bianchi back at the Monaco Grand Prix as well. We played the soccer game for Jules, his association, with all the family, so it was just nice to get all together on the pitch and just to remember him. Then we had another activity with Sebastian Ogier as a co-pilot, which was pretty intense, not being at the wheel, but like really impressive, so really enjoyable so far. Romain Grosjean asked the same question, and he said, so far it's been quite good. It's been quiet and good, sorry. Media duty today is a bit more than usual, but nothing too crazy. Son happy to be here, enjoying the time, and the south of France weather as well, which has been good. Hopefully we can have a nice event this weekend. Of course, remember the drama last year with 3 of the 4 French drivers crashed out of the race on the opening lap of the race as well. So, it's going to be a good French Grand Prix weekend. There's a lot of controversy still around what happened with Sebastian Vettel, of course, but we're all looking forward to what is going to happen on Sunday, which is, of course, main race day. Because Mercedes have won 7 races in a row now. Hamilton has won 5. He's now 29 points ahead of Bottas. Whatever happens, he will lead the championship going into the Austrian Grand Prix. So, it's now a focus on what can Ferrari bring. They're level on power now. We should be able to have that this weekend. Is Bottas back to 2.0? It's all going to be answered. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the Friday practice review, and then back on both times at 1:30 on Saturday and Sunday for the Saturday practice review and the Sunday race preview. That's both on Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. as well. And you can watch it all on YouTube, and the shareable link on the Facebook page as well. And don't forget, for Twitter and Instagram, it's at Joshua Birch 99, and of course subscribe down below as well, because we're going to have some more features coming up now with the F1 2019 gameplay as well. This is where the season kicks off mainly for us after the World Endurance last weekend. We're all buzzing as well with the popularity that we're getting, and it's going to be a great weekend here in France. But from us all here, bye for now.